Hello, my freaky darlings. Welcome back. This week, I'm investigating the mystery of the Pollock Twins. In the market town of Hexham, England, Florence and John Pollock were by all accounts an unremarkable and very Catholic family. They had 4 sons and were then joined by 2 daughters. I know they were Catholic, and in those days birth control wasn't a thing, but 6 kids? That poor woman's body. Seriously. Anyway, Joanna was born in 1946, and Jacqueline joined the family in 1951. Florence and John ran a milk delivery business, and the children were often left with their grandmother. Apparently, Joanna was a good big sister and would often look after Jacqueline, who was an imaginative little girl who liked to dress up. On the 5th of May 1957, the girls were heading to church with their 9-year-old friend, Anthony. They were walking along the pavement like good little kids when a car veered off the road and smashed into them. The girls died at the scene, and poor Anthony died en route to the hospital. Joanna was 11 and Jacqueline was only 6. It turned out that the driver, Marjorie Wynne, had been as high as a fucking kite when she got behind the wheel. She had overdosed on aspirin and phenobarbital after losing custody of her children and intended to take her own life. But apparently going out alone wasn't quite what she had in mind, so she deliberately ploughed into the children as a twisted fuck you to the world. No wonder she lost custody of her kids. Anyway, so even if she wanted to die, Marjorie was the only one who walked away from that accident and was later committed to a psychiatric hospital. Yeah, no shit, dude. Anyway, it wasn't long after that when Florence got pregnant again. I guess that's one way of dealing with your grief. A lot of... Anyway, but once again, the poor woman's body, okay, so that's 6 kids plus... So basically she's given birth to 8 kids. Her poor vagina. On the 4th of October 1958, she gave birth to twin daughters named Gillian and Jennifer. The weird shit started even before the girls were born. While there was no history of twins in either family, and Florence's doctor only heard 1 heartbeat during the examination, John was adamant that Florence would give birth to twin girls. John believed that Joanna and Jacqueline had been killed as punishment from God because John had dared to ask for proof of reincarnation. He'd read a book about reincarnation as a child and been fascinated by the concept. He even questioned his faith. He claimed that the twins were his dead daughters reincarnated. Jennifer had a birthmark on her hip the size and shape of a thumbprint, and what's strange is that Jennifer's birthmark matched one that Joanna had possessed in the same place. Jennifer had another birthmark on her forehead that was very similar to a scar that Joanna had from falling down in 1954. Apparently, despite being identical, Gillian's body was slender like Joanna, whereas Jennifer's body was stocky like Jacqueline's. Where Gillian's gait was flat-footed, again like Joanna, Jennifer's was ordinary like Jacqueline's. But then why did Jennifer have a birthmark that matched Joanna if she resembled Jacqueline in other ways? That doesn't make sense. If you're reincarnated as one sister, then you're going to have all of the sister's traits. You're not going to have it's not a mix and match kind of thing, is it? But anyway, so when Florence brought down Joanna and Jacqueline's toys, the twins played with them. Gillian took Joanna's old toys while Jennifer picked out Jacqueline's. Neither of them fought over whose toys were whose, and just automatically took the ones that they recognized. They were also able to identify which toys had come from Santa. Just after the twins were born, the family moved to Whitley Bay, 30 miles from Hexham. But when they moved back to Hexham, the twins were able to identify various places that they couldn't have seen before. These included Joanna and Jacqueline's favourite park, as well as Hexham Abbey. John later said that as he was walking the twins up the hill towards St Mary's Church, one turned to the other and said, "The school is up here where we used to go to, and the playground is around the back." At the time, not only would they have been too small to see the school from where they were, but there was also a large wall obscuring their view. For John, all the evidence of reincarnation was there, but his wife was far more sceptical. Florence refused to believe in reincarnation, but she couldn't explain seeing Jennifer lying on the floor, her head being cradled in Gillian's lap, and Gillian telling Jennifer, "The blood's coming out of your eyes. That's where the car hit you." In another incident, Gillian recounted exactly how Jacqueline had gotten her scar by pointing at Jennifer's birthmark and saying, "That is the mark Jennifer got when she fell on a bucket." The twins liked the same foods, clothing, and songs as the dead girls. They could identify friends and neighbours. Gillian was born 10 minutes before Jennifer, looked after Jennifer in the same way that Joanna had looked after Jacqueline when they were alive. The twins also suffered from recurring nightmares of being hit by a car, and when startled by cars in the street, would shout something like, "The car, it's coming for us." From their 5th birthday onwards, the twins' memories of their past lives began to fade. Or maybe they just got bored pretending to be their dead sisters. Kids get bored, Now, what is interesting is that the brothers are hardly ever mentioned. And as much as their parents claimed that they didn't tell the twins anything about their dead sisters, I'm sorry, but I call bullshit. I mean, there are neighbours, family friends, that sort of thing, that also need to be taken into account. They could just as easily have spoken about the dead girls. Families talk about other members of the family and about tragic shit that's happened. It's what families do. It's just the nature of the beast. I mean, not talking about that sort of shit is just not normal. And kids are like sponges, and they absorb stuff whether you think they do or not. And kids like to pretend all sorts of shit. I mean, so, what do you think? Were the twins the reincarnation of their dead sisters, or were they simply little girls looking for attention? Anyway, that's it for this week. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share it with people who are also fascinated by some weird shit like haunted places, urban legends, unsolved mysteries, conspiracy theories, serial killers, mythical creatures, ghosts, and other things that go bump in the night. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy.